Welcome to Creative Intuition Tarot. My name is MJ and this will be a general collective reading for the second decade of September, so 11th through to the 20th. As always, everything you need to know is in the description box below. Please remember, we're not trying to predict the future here. We are doing an energy forecast to see how we can make the best of the energetic potential for that particular time period, okay? Please also remember that as many viewers, as many interpretations of the reading, so take the messages as they feel relevant for you, okay? Without further ado, let's jump straight into it. We will pull out a major arcana from this deck first to set out the scene. You know, major arcanas never speak of ordinary things. They only show up to speak of extraordinary stuff, right? And events. So we will set out the scene with what is the most extraordinary energetic aspect for the second decade of September. And then we will build up the message with some more tarot cards and some oracle cards if we are not running out of time, okay? So let's do it. Let's see what is the key message, the key theme, what sets out the scene for the second decade of September. What is it that we need to focus on or be aware of? Okay, this one really wants to go out and this one too, so we will go with both of them. This one was the first and this is Temperance, so patience, okay? And the second one is the Hangman, which is a withdrawal, okay? So we have patience and spending some time in deep thinking. Both of them can mean deep meditative state and healing, so very interesting combination of cards. Okay, Temperance and the Hangman. So starting with the Temperance that showed up first, this is the card associated with Sagittarius. It has many meanings as all of the major arcana cards, right? It can speak of earthly and spiritual aspects or realms of our reality blending together, okay? It's a time of moderation or that requires moderation. This is deep healing, as I said. It's also something in the process of being created with those liquids or water in this particular card being pulled between the cups, right? It's like the divine alchemist is mixing ingredients in order to create that perfect potion, okay? This is balance, stabilizing energy, allowing life forces to flow freely without forcing them, okay? This is synthesis, synergy, a calm reaction to whatever is happening, which makes perfect sense with the Hangman. And then moving to the Hangman, as I said, this is a card of withdrawal, okay? A card associated with Pisces. Surrendering to a new way of looking at things, new ways of thinking, flipped values, okay, for some. Changed perspective that leads to enlightenment. Breaking the patterns, especially in our thinking processes, expanding consciousness, deep meditation state, non-action withdrawal, okay? Very often the Hangman carries a vibe of a sacrifice, which means that we sacrifice the previous version of ourselves, the way we have been looking at things, so that we can open up to those new ways of thinking. You can see in this particular deck, the Hangman is surrounded with swords, right? And swords typically in tarot represents thinking, right? Our mental space. And those swords are almost aimed at the Hangman. It's like almost they make me feel as if they're threatening him. But he's perfectly balanced so that the swords don't touch him, so that they don't hurt him. That's where the Temperance card comes into play and makes perfect sense, right? Because I said with the Temperance, it's about balancing our energy. What I'm getting from those two cards is primarily balancing our energy in our mental space. How often it comes up, right? How much work we need to put in working on our mental space to make it calm, to make it peaceful, to find peace, to balance our energy, to create whatever it is that we want to create slowly, diligently, with that moderation and patience, right? Allowing the life forces in both of those cards. There's this allowance of life forces to flow without forcing them, allowing the time that is needed for the process to complete, okay? Primarily this really strongly feels with a deep healing on a soul level, but also within our mental space, okay? I really like the combination of those cards. It feels very peaceful, but it also feels, as I said at the beginning, with a withdrawal. It may be that we may need some time alone in our mental space, but also in our soul space, okay? We should be giving enough time to our soul as well to allow it to heal, but also to allow it to speak to us so that we can hear what is it that our soul desires or needs at this particular time, okay? So let's see what additional messages we can get, even though it's quite a complete message already for me. But let's see. Can we expand on the major arcana, please? What is it that we need to know, should be aware of, or we should focus on during the second decade of September? This one wanted to go out too. Okay, so what we have here is, we have the Star. This is another card of healing, major arcana. The second decade of September seems really like a time of very deep healing. Oh, we have 4 cards. There were 2 cards in here. We have the King of Wands and the Prince of Pentacles. And then we also have the Queen of Pentacles. So we only have major arcanas on the table and 3 court cards, okay? The court cards can represent actual people, but they can also represent energies that are influencing our situation at this time. It may be the energy that we are projecting or the energy that we are needing at the time of the reading, okay? They are not gender specific, even if they say king, prince, princess, or queen. Now let's review them one by one. First of all, we have 1 card of the fire element with the King of Wands and 2 earth cards with the coins energy. So the King of Wands, okay, every king is about vision, right? Kings are visionary, mature. They represent authority, but also maturity, right? The King of Wands is, again, is about creative vision and very active energy, wanting to take action, right? It's charisma, it's charm. It can be an entrepreneur, kind of like a business person that is very energetic, and someone who controls their passions, someone who controls their inner fire. The Prince of Pentacles, which in this particular deck is the Knight of Pentacles, is the slowest moving knight in the whole deck. He's reliable, patient, diligent, just as the Temperance, just as the Hangman. He represents perseverance. He has a clear goal that he's putting attention to. He's not looking for shortcuts, workarounds. He's moving towards his goal, even if it takes time, right? This is someone who is, well, as I said, it's perseverance, right? Primarily. And then we have the Queen of Coins. Every queen represents water energy, so it's feminine, caring, very motherly, it's creativity. It can even represent someone of like a medium skills, okay? Definitely processing, transmitting emotions, okay? The Queen of Coins is an independent person, someone who's well established, okay, but they are generous in sharing their abundance. This is someone who takes care of home, someone who is a giver, okay? So that's why it represents like this motherly energy of a woman taking care of a home, even though I said they are not gender specific. And then let's look at the Star card that showed up, the Major Arcana. So the Star card is associated with the sign of Aquarius. And this is The guiding light of renewal. This is deep healing, peace and harmony. Again, just like the Temperance. Hope, therapy. It can be dreams coming true, or the process of wishing upon the star, having faith, hope, and love towards whatever it is that we're doing. The star can represent magic flowing around. It's like uplifted soul, okay? Now let's look at all those cards together. I said at the beginning we need to look at, well, not look, we need to listen to our soul and allow our soul to speak with the Temperance. Then also work at bringing peace to our mind space with the Hangman. Flipping perhaps our values, definitely changing perspective that leads to some kind of an enlightenment. And that enlightenment comes with the star, which is the guiding light, right? All the guiding light that we need is within us if we just listen to our soul and we clear our mind space to let it speak, okay? That's where the guiding light shows up. And if we are lost, if we need guidance, the best guidance that we can get is from within. I'm not saying don't reach out to your friends. I'm not saying don't talk to anyone. But the key guidance that we all need is always within, right? Now the King of Wands is saying, let's be, in that charisma to find that peace, to find that deep healing. Like, be willing to take action towards healing. It will not come on its own if we don't put ourselves into the Temperance state, into the Hangman state, into the star deep healing state, right? So this is about being proactive. Now the Prince of Pentacles says, be proactive but be diligent, move slowly. Don't try to rush the process. It needs its own time. It needs to go with its own pace, right? Don't look for shortcuts. You will not go through healing. You will not get into a deep peace state if you're trying to rush. You will not get into a deep meditative state if you're trying to force it, right? And then the Queen of Pentacles says, once you find that peace, be motherly and loving towards yourself and others, right? Share your abundance generously. And in this case, I don't think the abundance is about money. I think it's about the abundance of that peace that we can find. We should then share that peace with others, okay? I said it's a giver. So we should be willing to share with others what we learn through the perhaps not the easiest process in the world. But if we can go through this, it's almost our responsibility to share that experience with others so that they can find their own healing path as well. And I think I'll leave it there with the tarot cards. I really like this message. There's a lot of healing. Temperance, the Hangman, the Star. I mean, it's all about finding our future direction by tuning into our soul, by tuning into our mind space, by allowing them to speak and shine like this guiding light so that we know where do we move forward diligently and with perseverance with the Prince of Pentacles. Okay, but with deep enthusiasm and action-oriented approach with the King of Wands, and then we can share with the Queen of Pentacles. So let's close it off with a couple oracle messages. Let's see what the oracle cards have to say. This deck is actually self-made by me. These are some inspirational thoughts that have made impact on me during my, well, meditations and my exploration of, various cards and books and my own meditations. So they inspired me to create my own deck. And we have Find Your Compass. I said guiding light, right? From a place of wisdom, decide what sort of energy you allow into your world and your being. From a place of wisdom, decide what sort of energy you allow into your world and into your being. Take the long way home. It is the priorities of the heart that matter. March to the beat of your own drum. And let's put an angel kindness message on top of it to close it out with some positive affirmations. Oh, we have 4 cards. Okay. I can do all things through him who gives me strength. Okay, this angel says, dare to dream. Think big, make goals, take action, work hard, believe in yourself, trust God. This is a summary of our reading. Dare to dream. This is the star. Think big, right? With the Hangman, with the visionary king. Make goals, take action, work hard with the king and the Prince of Pentacles. Believe in yourself and trust God. The second one says, Lord, help me remember that nothing will happen today that you and I cannot handle together. When making big decisions, do your best to take your emotions out of the equation. Your mind will serve you better. The Hangman. And the last one says, forgive others even when you don't think they deserve it. You deserve the peace that comes from forgiveness. Temperance, the Hangman, the star, that is also the time of healing that allows to forgive those who made us feel bad, who made us anything wrong, right? Forgiveness is key to the peace of our soul, really. I hope that you enjoyed this reading. If you did, please consider liking, subscribing. It's a great pleasure to be doing those readings for you. As always, please take care of yourself, and I will see you next time. Bye.